Hey everybody, so today we are making braised oxtail. It is going to be a pretty simple recipe, and oxtail is it's packed with a lot of flavor, and people usually sleep on this one. So the ingredients are super simple. We're going to have some tomato paste, a couple tablespoons. We're also going to have some beef stock, and then you got your mirepoix, you got your celery, your onion, your carrots. I got some bay leaves and some peppercorns, and then I got some chopped up garlic. And none of this has to be perfect. And we also got the oxtail. It's going to be slow cooked, and it's going to get mushy, so it doesn't really matter how you cut it. As for the oxtail, I want to get a little bit of oil on them, and then I'm going to put salt and pepper on all sides of it. And then what we want to do is we want to sear this off before we start putting everything else in. But go ahead and rub the oil, get it somewhat wet there. I'm going to add a little bit of oil on the bottom of the pan as well, but we want it enough just to have the seasoning stick to it. Now personally, I'm using a coarse ground kosher salt. Go ahead and season all sides of that and add a little bit of black pepper as well if you wish. And I'm just using a restaurant ground black pepper. Now with a really nice hot pan, a little bit of oil at the bottom, we want to sear all of our oxtails on all sides, get it a nice golden crust, which is going to help with the flavor. After our meat is nice and seared on all sides, we want to go ahead and remove it from the pan, and then we're going to start the veggies. Now you can throw all the vegetables in at once, but I am going to do the onions first, saute that here for just a moment, and then I'll add the other stuff in. Now that we got some color going on, I'm going to go ahead and start adding in the rest. So we're going to add in our carrots, give that a little bit of a toss. I just love the colors when you first start. I know that these are not going to look pretty once they're cooked down and in that sauce, but go ahead and get those sauteed for just a moment. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in our bay leaves and our peppercorns. Go ahead and saute that for just a moment. You can also add this in after you add everything as well. Alright, so once that's sauteed down a bit, we're going to go ahead and add in our red wine. You don't have to use wine. It's preferred, but if you would rather not use any wine, just use some of the beef broth and you'll be fine there. Go ahead and let this cook and reduce down a little bit. As it's reducing down, I'm going to go ahead and add in some of that tomato paste, just a couple tablespoons fine. And then you want to go ahead and just mix that in there. Then go ahead and just get that nice and mixed in. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start adding in some of the beef stock. I'm not going to do all of it right now because I want to put the meat in, and then I'm going to put the stock where we're going to try to get it pretty close to the top of the meat. Next, let's go ahead and put our oxtails back in. And now I'm going to put the rest of the beef stock in there. And we just want to almost cover the meat. I'm not going to cover it completely, but I want to bring it to almost the top of the meat. And the 4 cups were just about perfect for this size pan. Next, I'm going to just make sure that I get everything out of there. I am using a better than bouillon. You use whatever kind of beef stock you want, but I want to make sure that I get all of that out of there. Now, I forgot in the ingredient list, I also want to do a little rosemary. Put the lid on and let this simmer for a while. After a couple hours, everything's looking really good. The meat's getting nice and tender, and yeah, we're looking really good here. Next, I want to go ahead and remove the meat out of here. I want to be gentle not to tear them up because I still want them to look pretty. Next, what I want to do is I want to strain this because I want a nice, clean looking sauce. I couldn't find my strainer. I think I lost it in the move, so I'm going to use a little colander. It's not really the best idea. Hopefully you make less of a mess than I do. But I want to get this nice and strained. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this back in the pot, and we are going to pretty much reduce this down. We want to create a sauce out of this. And just let it simmer for a bit, reduce down as much as you like. You could also use a little bit of cornstarch. What I'm looking for is pretty much to coat the spoon. I don't want it too thick, but I don't want it too runny. This is about where I'd like it. Now I just made a simple garlic mashed potato, and I want to put one of my oxtails on here. They look really good. If you haven't had oxtail, you definitely got to give it a try. I'm going to take one of those little pieces and put it on there as well. Next, I wanted to get some of that sauce, and I just want to drizzle a little bit of that sauce right on there. You could also put a little extra if you like, because it's going to be really good with those potatoes. So go ahead and put as much or as little as you like on there. And this sauce turned out really nice. This is the consistency that I like with a lot of my sauces when it's braised meats. Alright, I didn't make any garnishing, so just a quick rosemary. Anyway, this is my oxtail. Definitely give it a try if you haven't. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like my channel. Hit that like if you like. Dislike if you don't. Have a good day.